Well, welcome back to our chapter book reading. We are reading a book called Mango and Bambang, written by Polly Faber and illustrated by Clara Vuliami. And remember, I took this cover sleeve off of the book because these protect the books, and I will put it back after I finish reading. But it's hard to read sometimes with the cover, the jacket, or the sleeve on. So I just pull it off because I didn't have the right tape to use to tape it in there. So anyway, here we go. We know that this is Mango, and this is Bambang. And does anybody remember what kind of animal Bambang is? Yes, Bambang is a tapir. There's different ways to say that word, but I did look it up, so that's how I chose to say it. Anyway, Mango was on her way home from her karate class. She lives in a big city on top of a very tall building, and I guess she walks back and forth to her karate class or taekwondo. I can't remember which one it was. And there was a big traffic jam. And she noticed that on the roadway there was an obstruction. That means something causing the cars not to be able to pass. And the obstruction was a tapir on the road who escaped from Malaysia and was being chased by a tiger. And people were being very mean and angry about the tapir. And Mango jumped in and helped out and got the tapir to move across the street. She is now taking Bambang home. She promised him banana pancakes and he could stay. She convinced him that there was no tiger. It was a cat he was seeing on top of a fence, if you recall. She borrowed the policeman's microphone to tell everybody what to do. She told there was a digger that was going to scoop up Bambang, and she stopped that process. She got everybody to turn their cars off, and she talked calmly to Bambang and got him to get up off the road and to cross. And we are going to read this next chapter is called Bambang's Pool. So there is Bambang in the pool with Mango. This is such a silly book, but I like it. I like the pictures and I like the story. I think it's a nice story. So let's see what happens next in the story. Mango and Bambang, they're not a pig. And this is called Bambang's Pool. Bambang wriggled and pushed his snout through the small gap at the bottom of the window. He was in a room. The rain pitter-pattered against his nose. By stretching out his tongue as far as it would go, he could catch drops that fell on his tongue. He was living in a new home, and now he saw something familiar, rain. He gave a little sigh. He'd been in the city for a month full of sights undreamed of, when he'd run and swum and hidden and run some more away from the jungle. Bambang still hid, sometimes several times a day, from possible tigers. But he'd not met a single real one in all that time. Instead, he had met automatic doors and ice cream and trolleys and bubbles and fizzy lemonade and kites and turnstiles and so many other wonderful things. Best of all, he'd met them with wonderful Mango. So here Bambang is sticking his snout out the window to catch the raindrops because rain is familiar. He's from the jungle, and I'm guessing that it must rain in the jungle where he comes from. And then here he is sitting at a table drinking, I guess, fizzy lemonade like he spoke about. So he's learning lots of new things while he lives in the city because the city is much different from a jungle. Correct? Okay. There was only one thing he really missed. Mango looked up from her chessboard at the side. She had been trying out a new pawn opening. Remember, she loves chess. She's learning and teaching herself how to play chess. Oh, Bambang, what's the matter? Are you missing your pond? It couldn't be hidden. Tapirs love water. In his patch of jungle, Bambang had lived near a cool pool of weeds and mud, where he'd wallowed and rolled his cares away every day. On days like this, when the rain came down, the smell brought back memories. It was the only thing he missed, but he sure missed his cool pool. So there he is with his thinking bubble, missing his pool that he was used to wallowing in, because it sounds like tapirs really love to lay in water. And he smelled the rain, and the rain was coming down, and it reminded him of water. So I guess he wallowed and rolled his cares away. And wallowed means kind of like sitting in and moving about and just kind of relaxing and chilling out. Okay. Do you want me to run you a bath again? Asked Mango. Bambang shook his head. He'd tried the bathtub, but it wasn't the same. The problem was that not all of him fit in at once. Either he had to drape his front legs over the edge or hang his bottom out the back. It was simply undignified. He didn't feel special when he did that, or like a tapir. There he is. Oh my, he's sticking his bottom off the back because he can't get his whole body in there. And he just feels embarrassed when he has to do that, which, yeah, I don't blame him. I know, said Mango, getting up from her chessboard. We'll go swimming properly at the public pool. Bambang's ears and snout both pricked up at that suggestion. He liked the idea. What is your nearest public pool like? Does it have exciting things like wave machines and curly slides and bubbly butts? Or is it just a plain rectangle? The very busy city where Mango lived had the rectangle sort. The very busy people didn't have time for curly slides. There were 2 rectangles there, a small, very deep one, with diving boards beside it for practicing jumping and diving, and a long, thin, skinny rectangle divided into lanes for going back and forth. People like to swim laps. Bambang looked at the diving boards with a keen interest. There was nothing like them in the jungle. He wanted to try one right away. Mango said it might be better to start with the back and forth pool. The back and forth pool was divided into 3 lanes marked with strict signs. One sign said slow, one medium, and one fast. Bambang and Mango looked at each other, not sure which lane they should choose. The other people in the pool were no help. So here's Bambang wondering about the public pool, and it's a rectangle pool. It doesn't have curly slides or anything fancy like that. There are 2 rectangle pools, one with a diving board and another that has lanes, which means ropes dividing up the pool so that people can swim from this end to this end, back to this end, and be alone in their lane. I'm sure some of you might have seen some people doing what they call lap swimming. In the fast lane, a man with a serious mustache was flapping his arms and kicking his legs in an energetic manner, but he wasn't moving anywhere at all. The slow lane had a line of very, very older people, all bobbing and gliding like clockwork through the water, going up and down and up and down. It seemed rather full. They settled for the middle medium lane. Okay, so here's the man that's kicking really hard and pedaling and moving his arms really hard, but he's not moving very fast or going anywhere. And down below, these ladies are going up and down and up and down. They're doing what you call bobbing. So I don't know if they have, they have on the life vests, and maybe that helps them bob up and down. I'm not sure. Bambang was just about to get in when a fierce man in a tank top and shorts blew his whistle and pointed. The pig needs a swim cap. "No swim, Cap, no swim," he said. Mango rolled her eyes. "I'm so sorry, Bambang. A pig indeed. Come out of your ball. The lifeguard's not a tiger. He's just a big silly. You can borrow my spare swim cap." So here's the guy in the tank top. And I thought he was going to say no animal in the pool, but instead he said he had to have a swim cap. So Mango has on a swim cap, and now Bambang needs a swim cap. So silly. When he'd unrolled himself out of his ball since he got so nervous from the lifeguard, Bambang thought he'd never seen anything as magnificent as Mango's spare swim cap. It was his first hat. He liked it very much indeed. They got in the water and began to swim. At first, Bambang was happy. It was lovely to have the whole of his body in the water again. He was feeling so good. To dive and roll and duck under and blow bubbles with his nose were also things he was so excited to do, besides having his whole body in the water. There he is. His whole body fits. Now he's diving down, and here he's blowing bubbles, which he's used to doing in a shallow pool back at the jungle. But it wasn't like his jungle pool. The water smelled all wrong, and there was no sticky mud to squish his toes into or weeds to play hide and seek with the fish in. And swimming back and forth in a rectangle is not very exciting if you are a tapir. Bambang started swimming faster and faster. He raced from one end of the pool to the other at a very not medium speed. He made a wave behind him, which spread out to the other corners of the pool. The older ladies found themselves bobbing in increasingly chopping water. The flapping man sputtered as water swept over his mustache. Then Bambang went zigzagging under the water, using his snout as a snorkel. Uh-oh. So here he goes. See the dividing lines that separate the lanes of water. So here's the man that's swimming, not going anywhere. And then here are those older ladies again. But Bambang is swimming really, really fast, and now he's gone under, and he's breathing out of his snout, I guess is what he calls it. It kind of looks like a trunk to me, because he's passing air. It's in the air, so the rest of his body's underneath, but he's put his snout up in the air to breathe. He swam right underneath the older ladies. He waved his snout cheerily at them as he surfaced on the other side. They waved back. The man in the tank blew his whistle again. "Keep in your lane, pig," he said. But Bambang had had enough of lanes. He got out of the pool and shook himself dry. He looked again at the diving boards. "Let's try that now, can we? Can we please, Mango?" Bambang said. "Are you sure you'll like it, Bambang?" Mango was a little doubtful. Bambang nodded. "Then, of course, we can." So here he is. Came out. And the big man screamed again about Bambang not staying in his lane. But now he's bored, and he wants to go on the diving board. Let's see what happens. It was a very, very, very long climb to the highest diving board. Mango led the way. Bambang started to feel less sure about whether he'd like it as he went up each rung of the ladder. Wow, that is a big, tall ladder. These things right here are called rungs. Those are the things you step on, and they help you get up. So let's see what's going to happen next. At the very top, Mango stood poised and tall at the end of the board. Then she stepped off, her toes neatly pointed. She landed in the pool with a small plop, sending out rings of perfectly even ripples. So here she goes. Bambang was left on his own. He peered over the edge nervously. In the distance, Mango smiled up at him. The water seemed a worryingly long way down. He decided his best approach would be to shut his eyes and just run for it. So there he is. He's looking down. He's looking nervous, but he's thinking to himself, the only way to do this is probably to back up on the board and run and then get into the water. Otherwise, I don't think he thinks he can do it. So we're going to stop our story there. And tomorrow we will see if Bambang jumped into the water or not. And if he did jump in the water, what happened? And if he didn't jump into the water, what happened? So I hope you enjoyed today's story about Mango and Bambang, the Not a Pig. I'm enjoying it. I love all the pictures. I think they're great. And the story is very creative and very imagination inducing. It makes me use my imagination a lot. Okay, so I've enjoyed reading with you today. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And I will see you very, very soon. I'm going to give you a virtual hug and lots of love. And I'm going to remind you, I am smart, I am kind, I am honest, I am silly, I am brave, I am loved. You are very loved. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.